What does music do? Conditioned relaxation and strengthens bonding. Music calms and relaxes, pleases the soul, relieves stress, anxiety, promotes falling asleep, if it is the right music to relax to, a kind of meditation music that is. Music can even strengthen the bond between you and your dog if you use it as conditioned relaxation. The advantage is that you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Many relaxation techniques can be done comfortably at home without much effort. Music for relaxation and as music therapy is easily accessible to most people. Just subscribe to a channel here that will provide you with the most information and appropriate music. We often find comfort in our dog when we ourselves are sad. Therefore, we should say thank you and make our dogs a gift by helping them with relaxation while also strengthening our relationship with them even more. What works for humans actually works for dogs. That's why there's relaxation music for dogs, relaxation videos for dogs, music for dogs to fall asleep to, and music is even used as therapy for anxious dogs. Relaxing music can be easily applied at home, whether you are at home yourself or your dog is alone. Relaxation is important for dogs, so they can learn to influence themselves in a positive way. Dogs are able to change their behavior in a self-determined way and they are no longer helplessly at the mercy of external circumstances. An important lesson: a dog can learn to be calm. You can teach him how to find calmness, you can make relaxation possible for him and make him a happier. It will build and strengthen the bond between you and your dog. The catch is, relaxation is not something the dog can train like a command like sit and retrieve at will. Clicker training, for example, is hard to use because this signal is often associated with entertaining actions. Learn how you can use relaxation music for dogs as a support and what other relaxation techniques and training options are available. Can music really strengthen the bond between you and your dog? Absolutely, if you become part of the relaxation. Put on some nice music, at a volume that is just audible. Lie down, close your eyes and find peace. Your dog will not understand at first what this is all about. The important thing is, he will follow your lead when he sees you relaxed like this and the music is affecting him. Relaxation music is not only calming, but also strengthens your relationship. What kind of music? Classical music or other very calm music? But what is the best relaxation music for dogs? What is calming music for a dog? What promotes relaxation? What puts any dog to sleep and relieves him of anxiety? Classical music is a genre that has a relaxing effect. Not only on your dog, but also on you. This genre of music is said to lower stress levels in your dog as well. Not all genres of music have been studied for their effect on dogs. And dogs also have individual preferences. Try out a little what brings your dog to rest, but it should always be rather quiet pieces of music. Optimal volume for relaxation music for dogs. This depends somewhat on personal preference. A benchmark would be that it is loud enough to hear the music, but also not so loud that it is distracting. Optimal duration of relaxation music. A dog needs about 16 to 20 hours of snoozing and sleeping time throughout the day. Puppies and older or sick dogs need even more. So dogs like to seek rest on their own, but not all of them can do it on their own. Some need our help. Relaxation music for dogs is such a help. Music for anxious dogs, treatment with music therapy, among others. Dogs have emotions, so they can be as susceptible to emotional problems as we humans are. All living beings are afraid of something. So take care not only of your dog's physical health, but also mental health. Mental problems occur when basic needs are not fully met. The dog does not understand what is happening to him. It can then also lead to inappropriate behavior, such as destructiveness, aggressiveness, or self-harm. That is why there are now good therapy suggestions for anxious dogs. One of them is the use of relaxation music for dogs. Even without elaborate studies, The benefits of calming music for anxious dogs can be determined because many dog owners have found that music therapy can reduce stress and anxiety in dogs. However, the actual effects and modes of functioning in dogs need much deeper research. Some breeds of dogs are more prone to agitation and anxiety than others, so there is probably a tendency for Labradors, for example, to show no aggression toward humans when they are anxious. Exercise as a means to calmness and serenity are more important in breeds such as a Jack Russell or Border Collie. Too many hours of solitude or lack of exercise have a negative effect. And rest is the last thing you think of when you think of lack of exercise. Ultimately though, anxiety does not stop at one breed. Prevention or early detection is the best way to help our dog. If anxiety remains undetected, it becomes more firmly entrenched. Possible causes of anxiety and how do I recognize an anxiety condition? Anxiety can occur when something goes against the animal's instincts. Anxiety shows itself in the dog through insecure, restless and nervous behavior. Trembling, muscular tension, palpitations are also among the signs. Fear can be triggered in different ways. It can be an object, a person or a situation. In any case, this condition leads to negative behavior when the dog cannot control its emotions at that moment. The cause of fear cannot always be influenced or eliminated, for example firecrackers on New Year's Eve. But dealing with fear can be learned. Fear triggers can be of various kinds: separation anxiety, little socialization during the puppy phase, loud noises, changes in the environment, lack of exercise and even traumatic experiences. A study in Finland used a questionnaire to collect symptoms and problematic behavior from a group of around 13,000 dogs from dog owners. Separation anxiety occurs when the dog fears loneliness and the owner leaves it alone. Puppies in particular suffer from separation anxiety and are then more likely to destroy or leave piles, or chase their own tail more often. Anxious dogs should generally not be left alone for too long. It can also help if you always leave the house at the same time and always come back at the same time. Your dog appreciates calm reliability. If you then play some familiar music, it will be easier for him to calm down. With poor socialization as a puppy, the dog has not learned how to interact with other dogs, other animals and people. Fear of other dogs and of strangers is evident throughout life. But your dog should relax. Help him with music. Fear of loud noises comes from a dog's very sensitive ears. Loud or sudden noises create an alarm condition. Firecrackers are a primary culprit, car horns, household appliances. Noise sensitivity is one of the more common anxiety symptoms, and older dogs are more likely to suffer from loud noises. Loud screams and noises are part of a rather hostile environment for dogs. A loud stereo system, children screaming at the same time or adults arguing create a mood that makes it difficult. This can ultimately even lead to aggression out of fear. Quiet music can be soothing as a counterpoint. Changes in the environment are also not popular with dogs. As a creature of habit, the dog fears drastic changes. In extreme cases, changes lead to traumatic experiences when dogs are overly anxious. Not to mention trauma from abuse or beatings. Anxiety is definitely something to be aware of, and as animal lovers we try to help our dog deal with anxiety. You definitely want to help your dog? How nice then. Here are some ways for dealing with anxiety in dogs. Treatment, of course, depends on the severity of the symptoms. For mild cases or temporary phases, such as moving house, you can simply spend more time with the dog until its anxiety subsides. In severe cases, however, advice from a veterinarian is important. What can you do in your daily routine to manage anxiety in dogs? With walks and physical activities, distraction can be created that calms and relaxes. In severe cases, the vet may prescribe medication. A simpler remedy is the use of fragrances, i.e. pheromones, to prevent anxiety and promote relaxation. And, of course, music is a great support when treating anxiety. Ideally, you would combine aromatherapy with music therapy, For example, getting puppies to sleep through the night with relaxation. It's cute when they're wandering around all day playfully. But that becomes a nightmare at night, for the puppy and for us. Basically, dogs, like us, are active during the day and sleep at night. But puppies have to learn how to sleep through the night. This usually happens at the age of 3 to 4 months, and we can help them with that. Is your puppy spending the first night at your house? Then it either falls over completely exhausted and falls asleep immediately, or it's one of those who find it difficult to get used to it. Moving to you is a stressful event, even if you don't find it all that exciting. You should take the first few days off anyway. Relaxation music for dogs can help here because it creates a calming atmosphere. Some dogs just can't stand too much silence, so play some soft music to relax them. A weather channel with the sound of a human voice can also create calm. You can also ask the breeder/shelter to give you a familiar blanket or a favorite toy that smells like its mother. Familiar smells help you fall asleep. It goes without saying that the puppy should not go to bed hungry or thirsty. An empty stomach can also keep dogs awake. Exercise and mental exercise are natural sleep aids, and not just for adult dogs. If you exercise intensively sometime before bedtime, the puppy will be able to sleep more easily later. But not right before bedtime, otherwise he'll still be too excited. Can you leave puppies at home alone? It is important to teach our dog independence. This inner security in the animal cannot be replaced with great toys. There are also tips on how to leave puppies alone at home. But there are also major concerns, because being home alone also means the puppy has many hours to bite, pee, bark, or cry. The consequence of being left alone too early can be a depressive attitude. On the other hand, you have to go back to your job at some point. And puppies should be able to be alone for a certain amount of time each day in order to become strong and independent. You can do that if you develop and encourage independence while you are still at home. How to do that? Relatively simple, just don't always be available. Sometimes react rather dismissively when your puppy wants to play with you. A busy dog is more likely to calm down if it has to be left alone. So make sure you exercise before you leave the house. This can be a walk outside, but also a few minutes of fetch and play with toys at home. It would be important to give the puppy a toy before you leave. Your dog will certainly not sleep all the time and eventually boredom will set in. Of course, it should only be a toy that the dog can play with unsupervised. It should also be more calming and not increase a play instinct. You can also try a sweet potato instead of a chewing bone. Then a comfortable bed and a bowl of clean water, turn on some soft relaxing music, done. And when you leave, please don't cause drama, don't make it seem like it's bad that you're leaving. Act normal, don't raise your voice, just grab your stuff and go. You don't have to say goodbye extensively. Remember, a puppy is in the learning phase. Everything he now successfully learns and remembers as positive makes him strong and independent. He just takes in everything like a sponge. If it associates music with relaxation and with a positive connection to you, then relaxing music will always help it to calm down. Insomnia in older dogs. Older dogs can suffer from insomnia due to age or illness. Relaxing music will help them fall asleep, turning the music volume down, and the music will calm your dog down quickly. Other relaxation methods/relaxation techniques/conditioned relaxation. What else gets an excited dog to relax? How much rest and how much activity does your dog need? What are the causes of restlessness and which training approaches help to teach calmness? Find out more about so-called rest signals, about serenity in your own four walls, about the relaxation grip for dogs, about dog yoga and much more. There are many ways to introduce calm into everyday dog life. Music is just one of many measures for targeted rest management. Dogs naturally seek rest to doze and sleep, around 16 to 20 hours for a healthy, adult dog. For sick dogs, puppies, and older dogs, it can be even more rest hours. However, some dogs cannot find peace on their own. That depends on whether they were allowed to learn it from an early age or because the individual character or personality is different. An illness can also lead to restlessness in the dog when it hears music, then it has to concentrate on listening and can hide discomfort for a moment. Anxious dogs have an even harder time than naturally relaxed dogs. You can work with music on anxious dogs, because music not only relaxes people, but also has an effect on animals. Some dogs don't need special relaxation music for dogs, they are fine with hearing noises. It can be a radio with human voices, it can be a combination of image and sound like a video, as long as there are no sudden or loud noises. Relaxation music for dogs does not contain unexpected loud noises, so it is safer than leaving the TV on all day. It can therefore be said that mood transmission and stress-inducing factors can be changed and influenced. Your dog can be a relaxed dog, and arousal levels can be affected under stress. Rest management. You can manage rest by creating a calm, relaxed environment, by specifically promoting rest yourself or by using tools such as relaxation music, a massage, just cuddling, lying on the floor and doing nothing. You can reward rest with chews, never by throwing treats. Extra tip, you shouldn't feed treats out of your hand, but put them on the floor. Why this? Your hand will not be a magnet for attention. A fanny pack with treats is also better than holding the treats in your hand. This keeps greedy and excited dogs calmer. And of course treats should not contain a lot of energy, you want to keep the dog's energy level rather low. It would not be good to start a game with the dog. His expectation would be that there was more to come. During rest exercises you are your dog's greatest support. Your inner calm also works unconsciously against restlessness in your dog. You can train this to come to rest by incorporating such phases every day. And you should not increase restlessness, but consistently not accept it as behavior. This means, for example, that the play session only takes place when your dog has calmed down. Or that the next ball is not thrown until your dog has come to rest. The more often he can go through this process, the stronger the exercise effect and the faster he can calm down again after exertion. So it's about controlling impulses and increasing the tolerance for frustration, because both impulses and frustration should be controlled. The more control, the better off your dog will be. So set the course for energy control as soon as possible. Relaxation grip. The relaxation grip is part of the training repertoire when it comes to the topic of rest or stress in the dog. Touch can help teach your restless dog to calm down. When touched, areas in the dog's skin are activated that can distinguish between positive and negative touch. A stroking would be a positive touch, a smack would be a bad touch. When touched positively, a hormone is released in the dog, which causes the dog to relax. The less happy hormone in the dog, the higher the stress level in the dog's body. Build in calming signals in everyday life by consciously touching your dog. Of course, it doesn't work like a human being, where you can give orders. No, the experience must be conditioned. Begin by gently petting the dog once it is relaxed and at rest. Stroke him, but with very gentle pressure for a few seconds. Don't talk to your dog, don't look at him intensely, don't draw attention to yourself, he should remain calm and relaxed. Stroke him gently, then pause and repeat this several times after a few minutes. You can also relax him with slow circular motions on his temples if the dog likes the touch on his head. If your dog becomes restless from the touch, stop. Some dogs simply perceive it as a threatening gesture when the hand comes over the head and eyes. Trembling or cramps are a clear stop signal for you. This conditioned relaxation is repeated for a few days and even weeks, then one begins to use this gentle pressure in more tense situations. For example, relaxation touch and a command, for example quiet. This helps your dog to become responsive again in stressful situations, and the relaxation it has learned helps it to regulate its stress. And at the same time, the release of the positive hormone supports your dog's efforts. Practice and repetition makes perfect. Order in coexistence. Rules make it easier to live together, They help to gain acceptance and respect, and they strengthen bonds. Rules are therefore a cornerstone for all other behavior. It is important that you set the rules. Your dog will only trust you if you set the rules and enforce boundaries. This gives him the security he needs for normal behavior. A dog-friendly facility is also part of it. You yourself are calmer and more relaxed because you decide how your life together should look like. And that brings us to the next point: you transfer your positive mood and your serenity to your dog. So consider whether you would like to listen to nice relaxation music with your dog. This strengthens your bond and your dog learns from you. Music means relaxation. Mood transfer. You good news first: you can transfer your good relaxed mood to your dog. The bad news is, you can also transmit tension, stress and anxiety, even if you don't want to. As a dog owner, you have long since noticed this. How does mood transfer work? Research says that so-called mirror neurons do this. Social creatures have always needed mirror neurons to get along better with their own kind. After all, mirror neurons ensure that you can develop action tendencies through observation, i.e. you can survive in groups or herds. Mood transmission is also existential for your dog, and you are its pack leader. Transmission does not only take place within a single species, no, it can also happen between species, i.e. between you and your dog. But not only behavior is transmitted, but also moods. The problem is, the transmission happens subconsciously. That's why you transfer your mood even if you don't want to. And your dog is almost at the mercy of it. You convey your mood through your posture, your voice, your actions, and even chemically through your smell. But beware, mood transfer does not mean that your dog understands you. He does not, he only perceives your emotion. But he is not human and cannot understand this emotion. If your dog is restless, the next step is to consider whether it might be because of your own emotional situation. A tip: relax together, listen to relaxing music together, let your soul dangle, breathe in employment, mental stimulation. Many dog owners think they can calm down their restless dog simply by exercising more, running out more, or by romping around and playing for a long time. That's not entirely true. Yes, the dog gets physically worked out, but at the same time his body is also flooded with dopamine. You've probably already seen dogs chasing a ball like crazy, running back and forth without concentrating. They don't seem controlled, calm and balanced. The dopamine kick provides the opposite of relaxation. Dopamine pushes with motivation-enhancing effects and the dog needs a reward. This can be a treat, but also more exercise and even longer walks. A dangerous downward spiral. Many dog owners wanted to do good, but unfortunately goodwill is not always enough and tips and support are needed to bring a dog to rest. But there is also nice, quiet stimulation, sniffing, activity through chewing and licking, swimming but without a goal or stimulus like a thrown ball, challenging terrain on walks where the dog has to concentrate while walking like easy climbing. A carpet of food or kibble in a closed cardboard box will provide quiet stimulation. A tired mind is more willing to relax than a bored mind. Regular small workouts of 5 to 10 minutes a few times a day will help. Reward it when your dog finds rest. Reward him with a quiet environment and a relaxed activity. He should experience rest for himself as a reward. He can't do that if treats are constantly being used somewhere as a reward. That could even spur him on again. You too can take care of yourself, slow down a bit and work with tools such as relaxing music for you and your dog. Dog massage and yoga for dogs. We associate yoga with relaxation, and that is exactly what we want to achieve with our dog. Now a dog will not do asanas, it will not be active at all. As humans, we are the active part. The advantage is that this exercise can also be carried out at home for free and without much effort. If you also play some relaxing music in the background, it will be twice as nice. Start by gently massaging the dog's head, especially the area around the temples, using circular movements. After a while, move on to the ears. It may be that your dog does not like it so much at first, because the ears are very sensitive. Then you run your palm over his head from top to bottom. This reminds him a bit of the time as a puppy when he was licked by his mother. Work your way over the neck and chest to the front feet. Gently touch his stomach if your dog likes it, or if he rolls himself onto his back. Not all dogs like a touch at this point. Then continue to work on the legs. Gently stretch the legs by gently holding them down and slowly moving the joints. Hold him by the hips and lift his hind legs slightly. This will help him straighten and relax his spine. So the order is, head, neck, front paws, stomach, hind paws, moving his joints. When does massage not work? When you are nervous yourself and cannot radiate calm, then this is certainly not a good time for a massage. Also, what doesn't go over well is stroking against the hairline, rough touching, or stroking in areas where he's more ticklish or feels vulnerable, like his throat or stomach. Then pet the flank instead of rolling the dog onto its back. If your dog shows discomfort, tenses up, raises its head, or even stands up, stop. Older animals can also have painful joints. You might ask a trained animal physiotherapist to show you something. Exercise, swimming, long walks. Dogs love water, dogs love water, dogs love water. Especially in summer, when it's warm outside and running around can be too exhausting because of the heat. Dogs enjoy being in the water. It's refreshing and the exercise is good. If swimming is to have a relaxing effect, it must not be stimulating. So the dog should not fetch a stick or the ball that you threw in beforehand. He should want to go into the water and swim a lap. Only then does it have a relaxing effect. A ball or stick only leads to a release of dopamine in the dog, which increases drive. We don't want that at this moment. The dog should be allowed to work off its energy and relax completely through its own motivation. Taking long walks in a quiet environment is one of the best ways to relax. However, search and racing games such as ball throwing are not included. On the contrary, make stops when you go for a walk. Set your dog somewhere quiet, just sit there without talking. A place that is as quiet as possible is important so that neither you nor your dog are distracted. This relaxes you both. Stress and nervousness can be reduced. Let your soul dangle together. An object that stands as a placeholder for relaxation. An object can be used to condition your dog to relax and fall asleep. So the object is the indication that it is time to rest. This object must be comfortable and you must be able to take it everywhere. This object is not a toy, it represents rest, sleepiness and relaxation. Start with your dog when he is tired. This can be after a walk. You sit down with him with the object or you use a blanket as an object on which he can lie down. If the dog is young, choose a quiet, boring room with no incentives. Repeat these steps often, making sure that the sleep object is not present in other situations. Eventually, seeing the sleep object will make your dog sleepy through conditioning, so sleepiness will be actively induced. So your dog can later relax in almost any environment. Also very practical on long car journeys or if you want your dog to stay with a pet sitter. And now enjoy the relaxation with your dog, strengthen the bond with your dog and enjoy beautiful relaxing music together with it. Like and subscribe to the channel for lots of useful tips.